Welcome to the No Dick Pics podcast. I'm Christina.
Max,
Hi.
how are you today?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I wouldn't say great.
Why not? Oh, you have a headache. Wah wah. And we're
And
not
the weather's
drinking, so.
and the weather's supposed to change tomorrow, so
But it's sunny today.
yeah, that was nice.
The other morning, after it had been cloudy for like 5 days straight, the sun was coming through the kitchen window, and Max went and stood in the window where the sun was coming in and just stood there. Just to like soak it
Gotta soak it in
in.
because I'm stuck inside all day. So
Yeah. You need sunshine, like, more than anyone I know.
it was never like that before. I don't know what changed,
It affects you so much. Maybe it's an age thing. I don't know. I'm
but
not
I
trying to
never
call you
had that
old.
before.
Yes, but you're older now. Okay, we're going to talk about our trip, but before we get to that,
Well, I have something I want to talk about too.
oh, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so it's a sports related. You know what I'm trying to talk about. We all talk about like this podcast. We talk about, but the name is the No Dick Pics podcast. And I still laugh like people sending dick pics. Well, even guys that have prominent roles in major organizations. So, Tiger's assistant GM resigned after allegedly sending lewd photos to female staffers. That's that's code for he sent his dick pics. Because what else is a lewd photo?
Yeah.
His fucking dick.
Yeah.
And he was an assistant GM. So, there's probably a lot of assistant GMs, but you're at a major league level, so you're almost there. Like if the GM were to resign or the GM left for another job, you might be in line. And now like he's not. He's resigning. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
not
crazy.
anymore.
Like you think of it as an everyday life, but now someone that has a prominent role with a major organization like the Detroit Tigers, Major League Baseball, and he's sending dick pics. And years ago, Brett Favre, when he was on the Jets, was sending dick pics to. She's kind of a. I think she's a social media person, or at that time, this Jen something. I mean, she's a well-known person. She's like pretty good looking, and she said, yeah, she had like so many photos of Brett Favre sending her like dick pics. But that was kind of before social media, so it really didn't get out there. But now you're hearing this a lot, and it's crazy. It's like a guy. He probably has a family. Like, how do you
Yeah.
explain that?
Well,
Because lewd
even,
photos, there's only. I mean,
right.
there's what photo is going to be lewd that's not including your junk?
Who did he send them to?
Staffers. So probably
Oh,
young, like probably like interns or
yeah.
to female staffers.
So I
See,
feel like that's something people have to think about. Like,
yeah, work around it. Like it's
or don't send them.
allegedly he obviously sent him if he resigned. He
Right.
didn't allegedly send him lewd photos to female staffers. So he's sending
Mm-hmm.
his junk to maybe a couple hot interns like, "Hey, look."
Which is not appropriate, even if you're not the GM of a
Right.
major team. It's just if you're anyone's boss, you shouldn't do that.
But it's not
But
allegedly, it is because he
right,
resigned.
right. Ugh.
Because there's proof
Mm-hmm.
on my phone.
And that
So
means
it
people
happens
didn't want
everywhere.
it too. Someone reported it because they didn't want it. So stop sending unsolicited dick pics, guys. Like, why? I would love if this has worked for you and you're listening, please reach out to us because I have not heard that it has worked for anyone. So if it works for you, please tell us because I haven't heard that it has.
It's
But
not.
people are doing it
I don't
for a
know if it
reason.
ever works, but like people just they keep doing it because someone in their inner circle or someone they know or someone's like told them like, dude, she wants it. She wants a picture of my dick. Like I does that say it on like the girl's forehead? Like how you
No.
feel it. You feel like, oh, I was feel. I felt something. I felt like we had a connection. Ooh, I feel like she wants to see my dick. How about
Nope, she doesn't. And I think some girls play into it, people who are like really into like just being like super sexual online and whatever, that's just how they like get their attention. Sure, that's fine. I'm going to say your favorite saying. I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum. But it is the minority for sure. Most women don't want unsolicited anything, like especially your
I don't think do
dick.
they even want to list like even if you know the person, do you want someone to
No,
send you a dick pic? I
no.
think it's a bit like so I think my generation I can't say that because you said older people
Mm-hmm.
my age was doing it. I thought it was like, maybe like 5, 6 years younger, like,
Nope. All ages. The guy from that one story I told, the last true gentleman, he was 50. So
maybe they just. Then I say, how many of them actually send an actual photo of their dick
yeah, you
opposed
never
to.
know. You never know. I feel like some, like, I'm not gonna use the name because I think he's listening now because we're still friends. But the person who sent me my very first one kind of named the podcast after him. He sent me one that is old. It is like it's saved auto because they auto save in your phone, and it's saved in the 2017 folder. So he's like, "That's a really good one. I'm just gonna keep reusing
It's not
it."
going to change. I mean, they don't get bigger with age. At a certain point,
No,
I
but
can't
that's
say
just
that.
like he's like, "Oh, the lighting's perfect. I'm just gonna keep reusing this." But I think the real goal for some of them is to get pictures back. Like they're trying to get something back from someone. Like, oh, I sent you something. Can you send something
I think I
back?
was
And it's like
asked. I think I was asked once, maybe. I don't know if it was twice. I was asked by someone early dating, like right when I separated, to send me some, and I'm
someone
just
that you
like,
told a story about.
no, no, no. Just like
Oh,
like when I
okay.
first got, I wasn't even divorced. Like the first weekend or two, just going online and messing around with
See, that's
people.
what I'm saying. There are some people who want them, I guess, but they're asking for them. That's fine. If they're asking for them and you want
But I
to,
was on
sure.
a website that was pretty much like, it was pretty much all like hookers, but I didn't realize it at the time. Because later she asked for my credit card. I'm
Sex
like, no,
workers.
I'm good, huh? I'm
Oh,
sorry, sex
absolutely.
workers.
She didn't want to see it. She's just trying to reel you in.
Right.
Oh, okay. See, I was like, that doesn't sound like a person,
And
but
that's why
some
I
people do.
understood. And then OnlyFans, the dick ratings, because I mean, like I said,
Fucking genius.
yeah, I was on that in the beginning, and she's like, "Do you wanna have your dick rated?" I was like, "What do you mean my dick rated?" I thought she said dick graded. I was like, "No, I'm not into like," ugh. But she's like, "No, no, you send me a picture, and I'll rate your dick, and then like like I was like, and it didn't cross my mind, and then when we had the OnlyFans one on, and she was talking about, I'm like, oh, that makes sense now. But I don't like I don't even like sending selfies, so I'm not the type of person that's gonna be sending a dick pic.
In general, I think it's in poor form to send an unsolicited one anyway. But if you have a job that you can get fired from for sending them, why? Why are you sending them to people who didn't ask for them when it can cost you your job?
Even in that role, even if you're doing it off of work,
Yep.
you're in a prominent position, you can still get caught. Like people
Right.
like normal workers, Gen Pop
Hmm.
workers. That's a
Like
kind of shout
in
out to
prison?
someone. No, no, no. There's a certain person that I follow on Instagram, the Streets of Schomburg guy,
Oh,
and
oh,
he
oh,
always,
oh.
his whole thing is like fuck Gen Pop. If we send a dick pic outside of work, it
Gen Z?
no, he calls them Gen Pop, like general population, like
Oh.
regular workers, like W-2
Oh,
workers, like that
okay.
kind of thing. I don't know.
Hmm.
So anyway, so if I were to, one of us sends like a pic like that, our personal life is separated from our career life. I mean, it just
Hmm.
is. But certain roles they're not, and so I just think I thought that was interesting with like all the stuff going on and all the people getting caught doing stuff like
It's
forever for
just
like the last
dumb.
10 years. Yeah, and he looks like a young guy. I mean,
That's dumb. Don't
if you're
send pictures to people who didn't ask for them, especially if it can cost you your career. That's so
yeah, he looks really
stupid.
young.
Yeah, well,
Oh, I
maybe
have a
he'll
name
stop
too.
sending people dick pics or lewd
Sam
photos.
Menzin, Menzin. Tiger's assistant general manager. So he could be like one step from being the GM. If
Yeah,
that's crazy.
that sucks.
He'll disappear for a couple years. He'll get rehired from someone else. That's kind of how it works.
Hopefully, he stops sending people who don't want dick pics.
Well, he's going to deny it and say he was set up because they're all going to say it.
You
And
wouldn't
I don't.
resign then, you'd fight it.
So we talked about this. Me and my trainer talked about this, like perception with people. This is completely off topic, but it's perception of people. So about 10 or 15 years ago, Duke lacrosse team got accused of raping. They hired a female stripper, and she
Hmm.
accused them of rape. Right away, everyone accused them that they were guilty. I even thought of them like, oh yeah, Duke lacrosse, yuppie white boys. Of course they raped her. and then they got, everyone shit on them. It was kind of before social media, but they got kicked off the team. And Duke lacrosse is like a really good team, like a top 10 team at that time. So all those guys got kicked out of school, blah blah. And then a couple years later, you find out, and she came out and said like she made it all up. And so that's whole perception. Like everyone already made their mind up with them
Hmm.
because of who they are and stuff. And then it's like, oh my god, that sucks. And that's what they always say is like you gotta,
But to be fair, even if it didn't happen, they shouldn't have hired a sex worker
but
for
that's what
college kids,
that's what
right?
people do, like parties and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's still not great.
Everyone does it.
Even if
Yeah.
nothing had happened, it's still like you want to send your kid to Duke and then find out that
There's
people
a couple
hired
parties I
sex
went
workers
to
and
during
stuff.
college or out of college, and they hired like strippers and stuff to do stuff. I mean, it's like, yeah, that was
Something's happening outside. I think someone just walked by. Maggie
like
got
my
excited. You can't podcast with us if you can't be chill. Okay, so there is a new dating app, and I didn't tell you about it because I wanted to tell you about it here so I can get your actual reaction from it.
can I
It's
go on
called
it?
What?
What?
Did you say? Do you want it?
I said, can I go on it for
No,
research
no, you can't.
for content? You would
Nope,
always tell me that, right? This- For
no,
content.
we don't need this content. We're just gonna
Okay.
talk about it now. Can I go on it? What?
Is it for Trumpers?
No,
Okay.
it
You must
is.
wear a red hat.
It's called Tribal, and I think it's out of Australia. I don't even know if we can use it, but let me pull up the description.
Where did you hear about it?
I heard about it on the radio, and so I'm like, ooh, we're gonna talk about this. So this article is from globaldatinginsights.com. It doesn't say who wrote it, but a newly launched dating app, Tribal, is taking a different approach to online matchmaking by hiding users' profile photos for the first 72 hours after connecting. The goal is to encourage more meaningful conversations and connections beyond just physical attraction.
I tried something like that.
Did you?
It was weird. It was so you talk, and then every time, like, I think, like, I don't know if it's a time limit or something. So like the more you talk, the more like it was a piece of a puzzle would be
Oh,
added, and then you can finally see who you're talking to or something. And then
that's
there's one
interesting.
that it's like one at a time. Yeah, I understand. You know what they're doing? They're taking advantage of the Love Is Blind.
It is. So I'll read dog. Okay. It says rather than relying solely on appearance, Tribal matches users based on shared values, interests, and communication styles. Faces are blurred initially, meaning that the matches are made based on the content of the user's profiles rather than their physical attractiveness. The platform uses a questionnaire backed by scientific research as the basis for compatibility. The founder, Rachel Harker, said the app was designed in response to concerns about the negative impact of swipe culture on mental health. Harker observed that many traditional dating apps leave users feeling frustrated due to ghosting, superficial interactions, and algorithm driven experiences that prioritize quantity over quality, which is so true. How many people have you heard say they're just done with apps? They're over it. They're so tired of the
So
bullshit. They're
here's
so
what's gonna
tired of the
happen.
same thing over and over.
They're gonna put effort into it, and then when the 72 hours is up, and the guy or girl sees the picture and it's not what they want, move on. So
Yeah,
it's gonna delay the inevitable.
yeah. So, I mean,
I'm trying to think of
genius
the
from
app
that.
I did. It wasn't a puzzle. It was like that. It was like blurry, and the more time you talk to the person, the more. I think they wanted money though. So if like if you
Oh,
buy tokens or whatever, but it was kind of like
yeah. It's kind of interesting though because like it kind of takes the same idea that like if you met someone at work, which I would never date a coworker, but some people do. My parents met at work, so there's that. But you meet someone, you get to know them, and over time become interested in them just based on getting to know them, not necessarily because you're attracted to them. And I think it kind of takes the same thing but speeds it up a
but there
little
has to
bit.
be some sort of initial attraction though.
Sure, but if you really like a person for who they are, you might not be initially attracted to them or they might not be your type, but you might be like, I actually like them a lot, so maybe I'll give them a chance. And maybe it'll help people like broaden their horizons because
I
so
just
many
think
people are
people
so
are
stuck.
shallow.
Yeah.
So as soon as they see the picture and it's not what they want, then I'm gonna move on. Oh,
I mean,
she's on.
if there's deal breakers, then I can see that. You can see Maggie behind me. Can you lay down? What's wrong with this dog? Stop. Um, yeah,
She
I don't know.
takes on a life of herself, like her owner,
She
right?
she's a little sassy.
There
Okay.
was something like this before, but I think it was a little
Mhm.
different. But
Well, I looked it up and it sounds like there's other apps similar to this, but this one's making the news. But I just think so many people are so tired of the same bullshit and, you know, having people match with them and then unmatch or like, even guys. You hear guys talk about all the time. They're like, I don't get responses from people. And I think a lot of these guys might be really nice guys. They're just not the most attractive. And they're the kind of guy that you got to get to know first. It's kind of like a short guy. Not,
I
okay,
think
people are going to
it's
get mad at me for this. There's nothing wrong with being short. I married a short guy. Like, it's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. But when you're being superficial on apps, I was not looking at guys that were under 5'9". I'm 5'2". If you're 5'5", you're tall, you know? But like, I don't know. I was being superficial with that too. So I think if, you're a shorter guy, this is something that might work well for them because they could be good looking guys and they're just not tall
I
and
think
that's killing
people
it.
it's not so much it's not the culture of I think it's the type of people that are on there. I really
Yeah.
do. I always say it's not the dating app, they create the app. They don't create the people. And the people have got so jaded and so messed up. And that's the thing. It's like it's invited people, like it's invited people that shouldn't be on these apps, and it's invited people in
Mhm.
relationships, and the people that are married, and people, and that's the thing. And then people lie about stuff like other stories we talk about, right? They lie about
Mhm.
their height, they lie about their appearance, they lie about their job. They like lie about everything because like we're afraid, and I just think it's like I just think all the dating apps, it's like the same. You're just gonna get the same people. Like I said, there should be a disclaimer like everyone's damaged, so just kind of work with it.
Oh yeah.
I've always thought of the question, right? Like kind of on the spot. How okay, all these dating apps, everyone says they suck. Like, well, how would you improve them? Like, how would you improve a dating app? Like, how do you like? I would love. Actually, that's something we should do. We should find like a creator of a dating app and get them on and ask them
Yeah.
like security. Like, how do you because you can't get the scammers out like because they'll find a way through, right?
Mhm.
But how do you make it like like, because all of them were like, "Oh, we have better security than anyone else." How can you prove that? But I would always tell people, like, if you were to create a, I always say this, if I was to create a dating app, like, how would I make it? Like, how would I do it? And you would try to, like, you'd want to be something different, but you also want to get a good group of people. So I think
See.
some of these dating apps that they ask for money, they think, well, if
Mhm.
someone's going to pay, that you're going to get a little bit better tier. Like, that was
I
the whole
thought
point.
so.
That's
I
the
met
whole
you on
point of the
that.
coffee meets bagel. That was their whole, they were on a Shark Tank. There was these two
Mhm.
sisters, and it's like, yeah, that's okay. And you go on it, and it's the same shit.
Yeah.
It's the same
So
shit.
I think the problem with a lot of the more popular apps like Hinge and Bumble and Tinder and things like that, even though they all say they're different, I think the point of them is to make money. Like every business, the point of
Right.
it is to make money. So the only way you make money is to have users. So they make it addictive. They make it a game. They make it where you're swiping through multiple people and it's not really about the connection. It's about making matches, finding more after that, just,
That's why
continuously going. That's why the algorithm works the way that does.
Bumble did a few things when I was kind of on it the first a couple times. They used to have these speed dating things where
Mhm.
it's just like you don't see the person and you just talk for like 2 minutes. And then if you're like interested at the end, you say yes or no, and then you go from there. They used to have stuff like movie stuff and other stuff. Then they took it away because but I thought that was kind of different. It's like, hey, you get to know someone beyond, because I think that's what you want to do is like you want to get out there and just okay, this person, but that's the thing. As soon as the pictures come up, everyone is jaded. Like, oh, I don't want to talk to him. I want to talk to him. I used to always say I thought Hinge. I met the most normal people. I mean, most normal people there. It is. I felt like I met like decent people on Hinge, and I
Mhm.
never had issues. And then you go back, and then you're like, yeah, it's the same. I think it's not as much as like Bumble and Tinder and the others. I would like to think about that. Like, if you were to make, we can do that like the next time. If we were to make a dating app, what would you like? What would you change about it? What would? And I think that whole like Love is Blind thing where you want to talk to the person without seeing the
Mhm.
picture. I think that's kind of the new thing, and that kind of makes sense.
It
Because what
does.
happens if you start talking to this person and it's going really well, and then the picture pops up and it's not what you want, but it's not a complete turn off where you're still like, hey, I'd be interested. Because again, I would always think like sometimes pictures lie for themselves. That could be a picture of her, but she might be like completely different, like up
Oh,
close or whatever.
totally. Yeah.
I
I think a
mean,
lot of people say that. They say that
I just
like,
think they're taking advantage of the whole, like you said, the culture of like the swipe
well, it
society.
becomes addictive. Like we both fell for it. Like
Yeah,
there was
toxic.
times when I was like, I'm bored. I want attention, so I just started swiping. And it's like that's
That's
not
why
what
we
it's
met.
for, you know?
I was bored on a Saturday night and I just wanted
Yeah.
to talk to someone, so
I
I was
just
like,
needed
"Hey, I'll go on
attention because
Match."
I had gotten dumped. So I'm like, someone pay attention to me. And now you're stuck with me.
I was
Thanks
like,
to
"Oh,
Christmas guy.
when did you break up?" She's like, "Last night." I was like, "Holy shit, she's a quick worker."
Like 12 hours
Turnaround
ago.
time. That's like a sex worker. The turnaround time's
Oh my
quick.
god.
I
No.
didn't call you a hooker. It's a sex worker.
Thank you. Thank you for not calling me a hooker. That's love.
I mean, you
Okay.
have those boots.
I don't what don't you like about the boots? He doesn't like two things that I wear. He doesn't like these I have like these baggier jeans that have holes in them and they're super super cute. He doesn't like them.
Because they're symmetrical. Like rips and jeans need to be like like there should
No.
be a pattern. It should be like one should be below the knee
Yeah,
and one
I'm
should be
not
somewhere else. It's not the
I'm not
same
gonna rip.
cut on both legs. That's bullshit. That's not a true ripped jean. Like stonewash. I don't want stonewashed in the same spot. You need it like all over.
It needs to be authentic, like an authentic
Yes,
rip.
an authentic rip.
Yeah. Well, I don't wear jeans enough to do that.
All
So,
right, we're off on a tangent.
yeah.
So
No, I want to know what it is about the boots though. You also don't
it's
like these like knee-high boots that I have that are cute.
they're cute, but I just feel like you're going out into like a snowstorm or something. I don't know.
I like
I don't
them.
dislike them. I just like they look funny to me. It's like, oh, there she goes. Must be getting snow today.
They're not like snow boots, they're just like boots. Okay. All right. Just curious. Anyway, we went on a trip. And so we're going to talk we've been saying we're going to talk about it. It's been so long since we went on the trip that like our tans have faded.
Are we? Is this the point of like traveling with in a relationship, or is this just
Mhm.
talking about our trip and rubbing it into
So
everyone?
I'm going to talk about the things that I found about traveling and relationships and like how it impacts a lot of relationships. So a lot of people fight when they travel. And there's like a lot of reasons for this because they're hungry, because they're tired, because they're thrown off their schedule. So people are just not their best selves sometimes just because they're more irritable because of changes. Not everyone. Obviously, we weren't, but like some people just like you get thrown off your schedule and you're just like, shit happens. And so people tend to fight more when they're traveling just because of that. And because traveling can be stressful too. Like, your flight gets delayed, this changes, that changes, whatever. So that can be stressful and it tends to lead to arguments that can end relationships, especially when they're early on. So it's just interesting to
Early on,
hear.
don't travel. I should have.
You're not supposed to you're not supposed to travel within the first 2
I
weeks.
think so. Like going back to that one. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously, there were some arguments later on, but like when we first got there, probably at the first day or two, it was fine. But the arguments were stupid too. It was just
Yeah.
because I made a joke.
I can see that.
I told the story, right? So she's like there was like this all female band there or whatever. She's coming off the elevator and she was dressed like a dominatrix and every guy was thinking it. And I just kind of I laughed and made a comment and she was like and she was the type of person like she wasn't pissed at the time, but it kept like bubbling in her and she finally was like, "Who cares? That's disrespectful to her." I'm like, "She's in a band. She's probably heard a lot worse." She actually laughed at like we went by and she kind of giggled like it was like funny because I didn't say like oh she's a dominatrix. I was like ooh she's gonna punish someone and all the
Oh,
guys
that is
started
funny.
laughing, huh?
That is funny.
Right, because she was in like all leather and she had like that hat and I think she had like a whip or something. I just
Yeah.
like yeah
I think she was trying to suppress her crazy in that moment because it obviously came out later. I
yeah,
think she was like, "Ooh, I want to yell at him, but I'm not going to because it's new."
but I'll get to it.
So,
Yeah,
yeah. So according to, I don't know if it's On World Travel or ON World Travel, 33% of Americans have broken up with a partner while traveling.
That's the
So,
last
like,
thing I would do. Even if I wanted to, you just wait till you get back.
yeah,
She gave me Mexico girls gave me every out, and when we got back, like I remember we talked about it. She's like, no,
that's
if you
interesting though,
she's like, if
because
you want
like,
to
who does
if you
that?
want to, I know. She's like, if you're not comfortable, if you want to end this, and we say like we went on the trip. She's like, I had a blast, and I like you, but we can call it quits. Like and I'm just like, of course,
I never would have
I
given you that option.
I don't think I had enough data about how we weren't a good match, but I was just like, no, we're good, we're good. I don't know,
Okay, so
because you love when I bring up previous
oh
relationships.
no, I don't care about that one. I mean, kind of, not really. Um, so there's a rule, there's a 222 rule from Dr. Laura Berman that couples should follow. And it says you should go on a date every 2 weeks. You should spend a weekend away every 2 months. And you should take a week-long vacation every 2 years to help like maintain a healthy relationship and healthy like travel habits and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's easier if you don't have kids.
I think we could do all of those things.
I don't know if I could do a
Every two
date
months is
night.
kind of a lot. We do date nights though. We just don't call them date nights. We're just going out.
Right.
But we do that all the
I think
time.
you should take. It should be more like she's how many hit 2 dates a month
Every
or
2 weeks.
every 2 weeks. I would like this. I put this 2 dates per month. All right, you go 2 dates per month, 2 vacations per year,
I like that.
and then mini weekend getaways, a couple, per 6 months. So you're taking 'cause even if you get away for a weekend, it's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think the every
technically,
2 months thing would be hard for us.
I'm not a vacation person, right? Not that I'm not a vacation person, since I've had the kids and stuff. But this year, I've actually gone on 2 trips.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my son went to the Orlando trip, and then we went to
Well, that was
Arizona. So I'm like,
December,
it
but
could
yeah,
be done,
yeah,
huh?
that was December. Yeah,
Yeah, but that's still a calendar year.
we're going to Madison. Woo!
It's a fun town. You haven't been to Madison. It's fun.
I haven't.
It's one of
It's
my.
not really a
It's one of the
vacation though. We're
places.
gonna be busy.
It's one of the places I would move to, even though the weather's the same. I love
That's
Madison.
surprising.
I love Madison. I would. There's parts. So if I had a choice, if I had to stay in the Midwest, there's parts in Michigan and Wisconsin I would pick,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a couple spots elsewhere. Like there's a couple lakes in Indiana I would think about moving to,
I don't know that I'd ever
and
move to
Minnesota.
Indiana. Mm,
I would. It's not my first choice,
yeah,
but if I were to stay, like there's parts of Wisconsin I don't want anywhere near the Dells, so that's why Madison's nice. It's the other direction.
yeah. I've never been. So, are we gonna go out after the competition?
Well,
Show me the
we're
town.
getting there Friday, so we'll have Friday night.
Yeah, because I'm sure the kids are gonna be at like a pool party or
No, you're
something.
breaking up. You're freezing. You're
Insane. Am
playing
I?
mannequin. Did you ever play the
Woo!
game Mannequin as a kid? No.
Yeah, it's like freeze tag, right?
Kind of like you're frozen and you're supposed to be someone like a statue.
Hmm. Is it
We
good
did
now?
things with we did razor blades and cocaine, but it was a different. We were from the D, so you know how we do things. So.
Wait, there's a game called that?
No, I'm just fucking around. I'm
Oh,
just
okay. I was like, whoa. Okay, so let's talk about our trip. So it was what, like
well.
3 weeks
Let's
ago?
start. What created to take this trip? You want me to tell you?
Yeah,
You want me to tell it?
sure.
Yeah, you're breaking up. You're freezing. You're doing a Jared.
It says trying to reconnect.
All right, I'm gonna talk because she's frozen. Good friends of mine, a guy I went to a college with. Uh, they listen. The Cuffs. We'll just call them the Cuffs. The Cuffs. How should I say that? Their brother slash brother-in-law lives in Arizona, so they go out there. I think they go out there every year. I'm not sure, and they go out there every year for usually like a week or two, and they enjoy spring training. The Cubs play out there out in Mesa.
Hey, babe,
They're
hang on a second. I don't know
all
if it's
right.
gonna kick us off.
I'm gonna keep talking. So they always invite me every year, and every year I come up with an excuse because I just don't want to plan something. So when they met Christina in August, September for the Pearl Jam concert, we hung out with them for the weekend, and they brought it up again. And so then I had someone to push me. So she kept asking me like, "We should go, we should go, we should go." So when we finally got the dates when the Cups were going to be in Arizona, and I knew it was around inventory, so I was like, "Boom, let's do it." And so we planned it, and we picked it, and we actually went. It's weird being by myself, but I kind of like it.
You like being by
So
yourself? Your
yeah,
solo
should I
podcast?
redo it because it's gonna mess up? You're doing it again.
Yeah. Is it?
You suck. What are you
I'm not
doing?
doing
Stop
anything.
freezing.
It's your internet.
But mine's fine.
We're in the same house. How is it bad?
I'm fine.
I'm fine
Mine
too. I'm
hasn't.
on. Is it fine? Am I working now?
Now you're fine.
Okay.
Now you're fine.
It has almost been a month. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it was a blast. It was like I was looking so forward to it, and we got an early flight, so we were up in the air at 7 o'clock in the morning. So
Mm-hmm. I love an early flight. I am not an early person. I don't like getting up early. I don't like doing things in the morning. I love an early flight because they're never delayed. Especially when like they're one of the first flights of the day. The earlier the flight, the like less chance of like issue with
and this
getting
sounds
there.
bad, but like parents will understand this. Vacation with kids and vacation without kids is so different.
Yeah.
And so it was a first vacation without the kids for a while. It's
Mm-hmm.
actually my first vacation without the kids since the Mexico trip.
Yeah. I mean, you went
I think
to
that's what made
Orlando, but that was with your son,
the
so
I was with my son.
yeah,
So you still have to, you know,
still have the dad hat on. So
yeah.
yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we I think we learned a lot about each other. And I'm not really, because we kind of already know a lot about each other,
How?
but I think we
I
learned.
know I think that's such a line.
No,
Did we learn much?
I think we learned that. I think we kind of suspected that this would happen, but I think we learned that we like just travel really well together. We're very similar in how we react to things, and so like I don't think anything like we don't get upset about like little things. We're just like, okay.
But I don't think we learned anything about each other. We
No,
knew
I think it's
this
just
would be
confirmed.
fine.
It just confirmed that we travel well together, and we, obviously
We learned a car can drive by itself without a driver. That's
yeah.
what we learned.
Do you remember the drive? You were
Yeah.
pretty like glitskis in the car too.
I remember, and then we got to the rooftop bar, and then after the first or second old fashioned, I don't remember a whole lot.
Because you were
But
not
I remember the
sober
ride
in the
because
car.
we went because we had to walk to
Mm-hmm.
get to it. So
Mm-hmm.
we all went. It was everyone there
We could talk about John
with
because we're gonna have him on. So.
yeah. It was the Cuffs, John, and he brought his dog.
Mm-hmm.
And so we all walked out, and because he ordered the Waymo for us
Mm-hmm.
because he needed to be there to
Did you
open
hear? Do
the
you remember
app
what he
opens
said
the
about
car
it?
door.
He was like, "Because it's not on your account, you guys should have sex in the Waymo." He's like, "No, wait, no, it's my account. Don't do."
I remember that. I
Yeah.
don't think I ever heard that.
I told you you were not sober. You weren't.
No, I wasn't. I was buzzing. I was feeling
Yeah.
good, and I should have probably just gone back to the hotel room.
I'm fine that you didn't. We had
Yeah,
such an adventure. We'll talk about
I
that as
know.
we get it because we'll go through it a little bit more. So we got there on a Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was not hot, which was kind of disappointing, but it wasn't cold either, so it was nice.
it was 78 and sunny, so it was
Well, we
perfect.
went, first thing we do was, we got something to eat at the hotel, like restaurant, and then we went to the pool. And it's too cold for the pool. The pool is freezing. Max is doing
No,
laps. He like, I don't care.
look, and I bring this up, and I know I hate to say this, but it's like growing up with like Michigan, like you were numb, like you just like you can deal with certain cold, right? Like I'm good around like I can swim in like mid
Yeah,
60s,
that's too
so it's
cold.
fine. It's not comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and so jumping in there, it's like it was cold at first. It was like boom, but like none of my body was numb. So I'm like to me, I'm winning.
I got in, I couldn't
So
do it. I got in like halfway. I'm like, nope, I'm good. I'm not getting in any further. But there was no one else in the pool, which is nice because no one else is crazy enough to jump in like you. But it was beautiful. There's a rooftop pool. They have this gorgeous view of the mountains. There's palm trees everywhere.
it's a
It's
rooftop pool,
so
but it's not really
pretty.
at the rooftop.
No, it's on the third floor. And then it goes out higher up and there's a rooftop bar that's actually on the rooftop. But the pool was gorgeous. The view was like so nice. I've been to obviously I've been to Tempe because I went to that piano bar down the street from us, but I didn't really remember it. It's so pretty. For a college town, it's gorgeous. Like it's just really like it doesn't look like
And later we realized, like, sometimes we just don't want to
Oh
go to a
yeah,
college bar.
we realized we're old. But yeah, so that was fun. And then we went. It was yeah that
So we
Wednesday
were
night.
so we like a normal day. The time we got up, like we were up at like 3 4 o'clock. We traveled all day. We got there, had lunch, walked around, got some
Mm-hmm.
groceries, went to the pool. Most people, it's like okay, relax the rest of the night and get a good night's sleep.
Nope.
But we don't because we wanted to try the famous pizza place.
Mm-hmm.
Was it
So
Bianca?
hang on, I have it written down. It is Pizzeria Bianco.
So we wanted to go, and Cuff's like, well, it gets really there's no reservations, and it gets really crowded, so we'll have to go early, like 4 o'clock. I'm like 4 o'clock, and then plus they got us Suns Bulls tickets for everyone,
Which
so
I
we were
didn't
going
know
out. And
about until we were like there. I'm like, wait, we're going to a game?
well, he was talking about getting tickets, but I didn't. So yeah, I was exhausted,
Yeah.
so we went to the pizza place. Was fucking
It
amazing.
was so
Like
good. I
it
should
was
not
one of
have
the
been
best
drinking.
pizzas. It was one of the best pizzas I've had. The fresh mozzarella, like I just
Oh my
literally,
god.
I was done.
That was so good. So I made
Yeah.
videos of these places that we went on the trip, but I haven't done the voiceover on them yet, so I haven't posted them. But
And we were
we
gonna go
have one
back,
for
but I didn't
this.
want to ruin it because something. It's
I
like
don't
the
know that
first
it
time you
would
go
have.
somewhere.
I'm
I
kind of
probably
sad we
wouldn't
didn't go
have,
back.
but I wanted to try something different.
Do
So,
you know what this deal is with the place? Because isn't it like something about like a James Beard Award or something?
so I was reading that it's the only pizza place to get a James Beard Award.
That's insane.
That's like yeah, that's I mean, and supposedly, like, I thought he was, so Netflix did a documentary on like pizza places, and they did it on this. We can watch it and
I didn't
see.
know that.
Yeah, and then so I thought they said I thought he was from New York or something, but he started a little pizza place in like a Phoenix grocery store. And it got so big, and then he had this was the original one, and then there's another one. He said John said there was another one downtown.
Mhm.
And I looked on the website, and then there's a couple locations like in LA, and there's more coming.
Oh,
Just like your Piccolo place,
Piccolo
they're opening one
Buco.
in Florida. Yeah,
Oh, they're opening one in Florida?
yeah.
Wow. That means Oak Brook is doing well because that's the test one.
So So that was so after that, like we had there was a cute little like
It was a
it felt
house.
like like yeah, an inn. It was like a
Yeah.
little inn at a bar, and we like had some wine and stuff, and I was already exhausted. Like I was shot. And then we go to the Suns game, and the Suns game was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to the game. It's great seats, and then we're in the wrong seats, so we had to move over,
But
and then
the
our seats
bright
were
seats
even
are
better.
better.
Yeah, and that's where I talk about the Phoenix sweatshirt fiasco.
Yeah. So you've told that story already. But then,
Yeah, but then we saw Bill Wennington. And
yeah, and
you're
I
like,
didn't
who?
know
I'm
he
like,
did
he
a
played
radio
for
show
Michael
for the
Jordan.
Bulls.
Yeah. Well, he's a radio. He does the radio, but it's weird. I'm trying to figure this out because we met him in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that they bring a team and they might switch off. I don't know, or maybe he just does like certain stuff throughout the game. I don't know. I was gonna look it up, but it wasn't really
He
that
did not
important.
seem to be in a
Still, it's
rush to
Bill
get back.
Wennington
So
because he as a big guy, and I saw him. I'm like, man, that dude looks familiar. And then I heard someone say like, I think that's Bill Wennington. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Bill Wennington. So of course,
I'm like,
me,
who's that?
I don't want to like, huh?
I was like, who's that?
And then I didn't want to like he was talking to someone, so I didn't want to like charge in and stuff. But I just made a comment like, "Hey, Bill," and then I made a comment because only I would remember this stuff. I was like, "Madison Square Garden, baby," when Jordan did the double nickel, and he was like, "Yeah," he gave me the thumbs up because
Mm-hmm.
what it was is we talked about this. Jordan's when he came back, he struggled a game or two. He had 45, and then he changed to 23. Then they went to Madison Square Gardens, and Jordan scored 55. But at the end of the game, looked like Jordan was going to take the final shot, and he literally went up for a jump shot and dished it to Wennington. Wennington like dunked it, and it won the game. So to him, like a game-winning shot that Michael Jordan passes to you,
That's
like
huge.
that's I mean,
Yeah.
that dude's going to be like that was epic, and he's one of the Bulls still love him. Like obviously he still works for him, so I thought that was cool. So he gave me the thumbs up because of course
Okay,
he's
so
like, oh, that dude knows.
you have said this is not
And I'm not even
true.
a Bulls fan, huh?
We get back and see Shar and Cuff and John, and you're like, guess who we ran into? And Shar goes, he does this every time we go anywhere. Max finds the famous people. So what's that? What's
I
that
don't
about?
find it. They do.
No, he said you
So
find the famous people.
No, no, we were this okay, we rewind. Rooftops before for Pearl Jam. The one year I was I think it was with me, but oh, I
Mm,
shouldn't say it. My oh, it doesn't matter.
say no. Say
It
my
was with me.
ex-wife.
We're
We're
still
not
married,
using
but
her
I
name.
wasn't happy. And I remember I just got shit faced. But supposedly Christian Slater was there with some of the other people from the what show was he in? Did he do like a fire show or
I have no idea.
I forgot. I forgot what he did. But she met him and stuff. Then the following year we met a couple members of Plain White Tees.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Cuff's like, no, no, and I'm like, dude, we bet like oh that was we're talking about the steak dinner. We bet a steak dinner that was the Plain White Tees. We took a picture of them. The way they were talking to Shar and the way like they were on a festival on a beach with Pearl Jam. And then the manager or I think the lead singer wasn't there, but his mom was, and she kept telling me like, "Oh yeah, yeah, we're playing White Tees. We play, and they're local too." And what's funny is they were debuting a new album like the next week at a record shop. I was like, "Man, I gotta go just to make sure it's them." But that was kind of the whole and so we took pictures, and like we had friends there, and we met at a bar afterwards after the concert, and we're showing them that, and people were like, "Yeah, that's like." They're showing pictures of the Plain White Tees and the pictures we have, they're like, dude, that's them. I still tell Cuffy owes me a steak dinner.
Oh, you
So
didn't get your steak dinner yet?
no, because we couldn't prove it was the Plain White Tees. The way they were talking to her, like you can tell they were
Yeah.
musicians. But yeah, so
Cuff, you
that
owe
was the
Max a
one, and I
steak
think,
dinner. He hasn't forgotten. We know you're
and
listening.
then we this last year there wasn't anyone famous, but I don't think as the people go there as much
It wasn't
because
as
it's
packed
not
at
as
all.
prominent because everything's blocked.
Yeah,
But
it's a
yeah,
tougher
so
view.
when she said like, "Oh, Max meets everyone," like, "Oh, we don't always meet everyone," but yeah. So it was cool, Bill Wennington,
Yeah.
and then
We were
we
so
enjoyed.
tired
Yeah,
though. We were like,
I know.
I
Then
couldn't.
the game is over. We're like, oh, get us back to the hotel. I was just so exhausting. The best part of the vacation is the next morning. I open the drapes and it's nothing but sun, not a cloud in the sky, and I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
He did that
Then
every
when we did the
morning.
mountain,
The sun's
yeah.
out. Every
Oh
day.
no,
The
we
sun's
worked
out.
out. Yeah, we worked out in the
Mm-hmm.
morning. And we found a nice little breakfast place.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the charcuterie board, but with
Yeah.
lox and bagel.
It was lox and bagels, but it was like it was what is it called? Deconstructed. So it was all like taken
Yeah,
apart like a charcuterie board. It was so good. It was
yeah.
beautiful
We
too.
just we hung out like I think we hung out at the pool every day.
Mm-hmm.
It
We
was
didn't
fun because
on
I mean,
Friday. That was the only day we didn't. We were busy.
what did we do Friday? Was that the Cubs and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because Saturday was the Botanical
Mm-hmm.
Gardens. Yeah.
So let's go back to Thursday. Thursday we hung out at the pool like the pretty much the whole day after. We did the gym, breakfast, and then we just like
That's a sushi night,
yeah, it
right?
was sushi night. So we
Yeah.
went, hung out at the pool forever, and then we, go back in, we get ready, we get, ready for dinner and stuff. I think that's probably one of my favorite pictures from the trip is that picture of us. Because the bathroom had amazing lighting, so I kept making him take selfies with me in the mirror. But
Oh, I thought you meant like the restaurant bathroom. I'm like, what are you
no,
talking
no, no,
about?
no. Our
Yeah.
bathroom in the hotel room had gorgeous lighting, and so I had like a little sushi dress, which is like perfect for a sushi date night. And what was that? Was that a yawn?
It's a bow.
Oh,
Oh.
I didn't know what was happening. But we were excited, and we went to this place called Raw Sushi, RA Sushi. I didn't realize it's a chain. It's everywhere. Um, it was not great. The food was great.
The food was
Food was
good. The
phenomenal.
service sucked.
Terrible.
And I don't complain about
I don't
service.
either.
Like I'm one of those. Like I'm like I never make a thing out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Cuff got upset. Like you could tell it ruined the evening because we were supposed to go to
A martini
a
bar.
martini bar and no one
Yeah.
wanted to go.
No, everyone's like, we're just gonna go home. Yeah, we're done. We were like, we're not
And they
going home.
apologized the next day, but I'm like, no, the service fucking sucked. I actually wrote a review, like they
Did
popped up
you?
because I made a reservation, and
Mm-hmm.
I killed it. I was like, food was amazing, service sucked. They didn't care about us. They just left us
Well, and
alone.
this is
And
the thing.
first
Like,
they moved tables.
yes,
Yeah,
they moved us. They moved our tables because they had another larger party that come in that had reservations as well. I'm like, why did you seat us here to begin with? But then, so we have to move, which is not the end of the world. We're pretty laid back people. We're like, sure, whatever. And so we move, and I couldn't see that. Neither of us could see this because me and Max are sitting next to each other. Shar and Cuff are sitting across from us, and John's on the end. And I just think they're busy. And that's why our waitress isn't taking care of us because, like, I'm like, there's a large party in the back. I can see her going over there. Maybe she's just really busy. It would be nice if she told us that. If she was like, hey, I'm really sorry about the wait. I'm doing the best I can. I would have been like, cool, whatever. Totally get it. We would
Or
have
if she
had a
just came
fine
out and
night.
said, I suck at my job. I suck at my job. It's going to
Right.
be a
She
while.
didn't say anything to us. She didn't say anything like, sorry for the wait. Nothing. And so,
They didn't give us all our appetizers, and
no.
then I still think they gypped us on a roll.
Yeah. But like, the John and Cuff ordered beers and she just brought them bottles and glasses. Or no, just bottles, like the giant bottles and no glasses. And they're like, cool, we'll go get the glasses ourselves. Don't worry. So they went to the bar and got glasses. But I didn't realize this, but behind us, Cuff had told us that the reason he was getting so mad is because behind us was a sushi bar. And there was an entire group of waitstaff just hanging out there doing nothing for like large portions of the night. So he's like, it's not like there's not people to help us. They're all just chilling back there doing nothing. So that's what got him fired up because he could see them just standing around.
Yeah, it pissed me off too because it was like, and I usually never complain about service, but
Yeah.
it was shitty. The food was good.
It
Like
was
we had a roll
delicious.
that was on fire,
Mm-hmm.
the flaming roll and stuff. So
I had some fun names for
yeah,
things, but like,
we should have just gone to the martini bar. We should have been like,
I
screw it.
know. I bet
We
John
were in
would have gone.
Scottsdale.
John probably would have
Yeah,
gone with if we had said, let's just do it anyway. But we were not done for the night. We were like, we are still going out. We're still on vacation. We still had good food, so whatever. So we go back to Tempe. And
let's go to the rooftop bar.
no, okay, first we tried before we did that, we tried to go out to the college bars first, I think.
No. We tried the rooftop. They were closed.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Right at like 9 o'clock. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? What do you mean 9 o'clock?
It was like it was close
then,
to 10, but yeah, they weren't.
So then we went downstairs and just started walking to a couple of the bars. They just seemed kind of like it was so like they were on spring break too.
Yeah,
So it wasn't
AU was
really
on spring
crowded,
break.
so it was nice. And then there was like I don't know, nothing just looked like hey, it would be nice to go to.
We went
They
to
all just
Fat
looked kind of like
Tuesdays, and the bartender, there's 3 people in the entire place. And so the bartender can see us. And I get that we're older than the average crowd there, but that probably means that we're going to spend more money. So maybe you should wait on us. Did not acknowledge us, didn't
like 5 or 6. Yeah,
walked
I was
past
like,
us several times. He wasn't busy. There's no one there. And so he just didn't want to take our order. And we're like, you know what? This is not our scene. It's a slushy bar. Like, do I want to have a headache tomorrow because I drank 3,000 calories and sugar with like a drop of alcohol in it? Not really. So,
I think there were other bars down more that would have been better. But
well,
we're
we
just
walked
like, you
past
know
a
what?
few and we're just like, eh.
Yeah, let's just go back to the room, have some wine,
Mm-hmm.
and relax. So
It was the third fail of the night. We're like, you know what? We're done. Let's go back to the room. So that was fine. I mean, it was still a fun day, and we still had to get any day that's a pool day is a fun day. So
and then Friday, we got up and climbed a mountain.
we did, and that was a big deal for me because I am not like
What was it
a
called?
mountain
It's
climber.
a big. No, the mountain. But was
Hayden
it
Butt.
Hayden Butt? I knew something but.
It's called
So it's a giant.
a
So
mountain.
if you ever watch Arizona, if Arizona State football game is on, there's a mountain with a giant A that's yellow, and that kind of overlooks the stadium. So they ever do a shot, they always do a shot of it, just like when they do a shot of Chicago, for a Bears game or something. It's the same thing. You always see that mountain with the giant A on it.
Mhm.
So that's what it was. So it was fun.
Yeah, and it was within walking distance of our hotel, so we're just gonna walk there. So we walk over. The road going up to where we're actually hitting the climb was steep as fuck. The road, I honestly think the road was harder than the actual like climbing up the mountain. So I am not an athlete. I haven't worked out in a long time. I mean, I did the day before, but it was like the first time I had been in a gym in a minute. And so I'm like I don't know that I want to do this, but I'm like, you know what? I do want to do this. It's a challenge. It's something I know I can do it. I want to do it. And so this is something I learned. I knew this about you, but you are like unbelievably supportive and like patient. And it's just like, there are times that I have done things with other people. Like, I was in this like fitness challenge for years, and there were times where I felt pressured into things that I didn't want to do. I didn't feel like that. I felt like you're like, we don't have to do this, but if you want to, let's do it. And I'm like, no, I want to do it. I want to get this done. And there was a point where I'm like, just go ahead. Like, I will catch up with you. Cause I was just like, I'm like huffing and puffing up this road just to get to the climb. And you're like, no, I'm going to wait for you. And you were just so patient with me, and you were so supportive and like helpful. And it was just really, really nice. And I'm just like, I remember talking to my friends about it. I'm like, that's something I learned about you, is that like I knew that, but not in that way. Like, I didn't know
What
that
am I
you'd
gonna
be
do? Run
so
up the
patient
mountain
with
by
me.
myself? I mean,
I don't know, but you were so patient and so like,
but you were struggling. Like, well, your knee's kind of messed up,
yeah.
so you can tell. And then it wasn't like, so the climb up was steep,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's stairs. So you think, oh, it's stairs, but there's like
No.
a couple stairs, and then there's the mountain terrain. Then
Yeah.
there's some stairs and mountain terrain,
And some of these
and this
stairs
like,
have like fallen apart, so the step up is huge. It's not like an easy
well, I
step.
think there's parts where they can't have a step because the terrain's so messed up.
Right.
They couldn't have a
But you can
flat
tell
step.
some of
So you're
it's
like,
fallen apart and stuff too.
yeah, you're in between like the actual mountain and then the stairs, and it just keeps going. So we finally made it to the top. We made it to the top, and it was awesome. Then there was a dude there FaceTiming his buddy while smoking a joint,
Yeah.
which it's legal there. So I'm like, hey,
He woke up and
it
said,
was
I'm going to
nice.
climb a mountain and get high.
Yeah.
So,
And
sure.
there's like a little thing you're not supposed to climb, but like the old me would have like tried to climb up that. I just
You
like
were
there's a
so close to the edge that it was making me so nervous.
but it wasn't like a drop. It wasn't like a drop off of like a huge
It wouldn't
mountain.
have
It
been
was just
great
like,
if you
yeah.
fell, though.
No, but
Yeah. I didn't like it. Made me
I
nervous.
was looking out for snakes too because I knew, but they said it wasn't hot enough.
Yeah, we learned that
There's
after the
signs for
fact.
all the, but there's signs for all these different types of snakes. So,
Hmm.
but I also wanted a snake to jump out of me to kind of like get over because I'm not a fan of
No, I would not have
snakes that
enjoyed that
can bite
either.
me.
So this is the thing. We're we're climbing this mountain, and there's like parts that are hard because I've got tiny little legs. Like, I don't have long legs. And so like some of these steps are like, I needed his help to get up them. I don't know how people who are short did it without help. And so I'm sitting there going, this is hard. And then this woman walks by with a baby strapped to her. And I'm like, come on.
Or the woman with the 3 dogs.
Yeah, she's just staying at our hotel. She was like, I had
Yeah,
chatted with her in the hall. And so this woman's, climbing a mountain with her 3 dogs. And they're not like mountain dogs. One's like a little like Maltese. And this other woman's climbing with a baby strapped to her. And I'm like, okay, there are children doing it. I'm like, I got it. It's fine. I can do this.
we made it up. We
Yeah.
made it down,
Yeah.
and then we found a breakfast place,
Mm-hmm.
and then Cuff called us because we had then we were gonna go. We had tickets for the Cubs Padres game at Sloan Park, which is the spring training park in
Mm-hmm.
Mesa.
Which is
And
very
then he was
cool.
like, "Oh, I
It's a
found
really
some good
nice
seats.
park.
Can you?" Yeah. So we got back from breakfast, got ready, and went out there, and that was fun. We hung out there the rest of the
Mm-hmm.
afternoon. Went back to John's, and then we were like, I don't know what they were doing, so we were like, well, we're gonna go back. We'll see you guys tomorrow. So we went back, and then you found an Italian restaurant
Mm-hmm. What was
kind of down
it?
the street, like
Cafe Boa?
off. Oh, it
Or
wasn't called Off the Vine or something.
no, that's
No.
a podcast. A
Oh,
podcast I listen to. I think it's. Let me look it
oh,
up.
there you go.
So yeah, well, because like Shar and Cuff are there visiting her brother. Like, they're there on vacation and stuff, and like I love hanging out with them because they're so chill. Because we're like, we're gonna do this. They're like, cool. They're not like, oh man. They're like, sweet, have fun. Like they're not like weird about it. So they were just. I think they're just gonna have leftovers because they're there to hang out with John. And so they had a bunch of leftovers in the fridge. Like, we're gonna eat leftovers. I'm like, well, okay, well, we're gonna go out to dinner. But we invited them, I think. Do we have it? Yeah. Cafe Boa is where we went.
It was nice.
It was really good. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I've been here. Like, I felt like, I'm like, I've been in this exact spot before. And I think I'm 90% sure. And my friends, if you're listening, any of my girlfriends from my like group of friends that I travel with, did we go to Cafe Boa in Tempe? Because I feel like we did. But we had a big long table under that patio that we were sitting on, and it was just me and all my girlfriends sitting there. We took up like the whole patio. But I remember
Yeah,
it.
first table we went, it was way too wobbly. I'm like, I'm gonna spill my wine everywhere.
Yeah.
So they moved us to like the seat next
Well,
to it.
and it was
And I
it
felt
was
bad because
like,
then a couple sat there.
yeah, and it was like, what was the thing with the wine? It was like organic
Yeah, or something all
something.
natural, or I don't
I
know.
don't know.
The wine was
It
good.
was.
I don't know. What do we have for an appetizer?
We
We got.
had calamari. In the video,
It wasn't.
you liked it. You did this.
Yeah, the calamari was good.
Mm-hmm.
But then I made, and usually I'm really good with ordering stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I usually don't like. Oh
I'm
man,
really good at ordering stuff.
I screwed the pooch on this one.
Yeah.
It was so unique though. It was a pasta with rabbit in it. Like
It
if
was
you think about that, you're
hand-rolled
like,
pasta,
but
which
as an
is usually really
Italian,
good.
like you got to think like there's some combinations you just don't fuck with rabbit. But see here's the part. The German side of me was like, ooh, Hassenpfeffer. Oh, rabbit, I love rabbit, right? But the Italian's like, I just want a good pasta, so I got it.
Yeah.
It was I didn't like it. Your dish was really good.
Yeah, I had a fettuccine something or
Yeah,
other.
I was
It
looking
was
at that, but then I have
amazing.
that weird thing where I can't order the same thing you order. It's just no, it's like that's off the table.
Yeah.
So if I want to have something and then she orders it, I won't get it because I have
We
two
always talk
reasons.
about it before,
First,
though, because we often
right,
are drawn to the
I
same
don't want the
thing.
same thing, and plus, if you get something different, then you can kind of
Oh, yeah,
try
because we
two
always
things.
share. And, like, typically when we're home, like, when we're here, we'll order something because you know I'm not going to finish it. So, like, I'm going to get half of that anyway. So,
That's why Chipotle's. I love when we order Chipotle because I have Chipotle
did
the
you eat
next
my
day for
Chipotle?
lunch. Of course, I get excited about it. I'm like, I get a fucking real lunch when I get home.
I was eating it. You're like, don't finish it.
Yeah, don't finish it. Ease up. I don't think you've ever finished a meal. Have you?
Probably
You and
not.
my daughter. You don't finish your Starbucks or a
I
meal.
finished my Starbucks today.
I don't know.
I did.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. You weren't here. I should have taken a picture and sent it to you.
So we eat at the restaurant. It's really good. I think we had like a dessert, like a chocolate something. We tried something off, like not like your basic.
Yeah.
It was
Well, you
good.
have
And
a
then
thing about not getting things that you can get at home. So that's part of why you chose the weird dish with the rabbit, because you're like, I can get all of these other things at any Italian place. I can't get this anywhere. So let's get this. And
well, that's why I'm on vacation. Like I'm not going to eat it
yeah,
at Chili's. Like there was a First Watch down the street, but
yeah.
I'm like,
We
we get that at
yeah, we
home.
have one 5 minutes from
Like
our
that's how
house.
my mom was always like that. Is like we're not going to eat
Mm-hmm.
anywhere. And I would be like, why did she be like that? But now I understand it.
Yeah.
So
It was great.
then I think
It
we
was so good. No, we tried to.
no, we went to the rooftop bar
Yes,
that night.
we did.
Had one drink and then went back to the room, which that should have happened the next night, but that didn't.
Yeah, so we went to the bar, the rooftop bar, which is gorgeous. And we went up there and had a drink and then, turned around, went back to our room, which is the nice part of staying in a hotel that's like nice like that. It has a nice bar attached to it. And so it was just a normal, like, great day. It was just a good day. There was nothing crazy that happened. It was just everything went according to plan and was nice. And we climbed a mountain in the morning, which was fun. And then it's Saturday, which you woke up again. The sun's out every day. Every day the sun's out.
Did we must have walked for breakfast, right? Yeah, yeah. Because that's where we saw the Waymo, right? We ate at that little next to the brewery, the
Yes,
breakfast
that was the place
place.
I came up with it. Yeah. So yeah, we went
Something squeeze.
morning squeeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had gone to their location in Scottsdale, which is very cute. This one was cute too, but the one in Scottsdale, it's very like has like weird stuff on the walls and stuff. It's adorable. But we went to the one in Tempe, and it was great. And then
I think Scottsdale is our next visit.
I think
Or if we go to
Scottsdale's more
Arizona
our
again.
speed.
Yeah.
We went to Mesa, but just to the park, so I don't really know anything about Mesa. But we
I think Mesa's a lot of like that's where people live. There might be a little bit of a downtown, but
okay.
nothing like.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all kind of combined. It's kind of like here, but like
A lot of people live in Chandler, which is kind of near Mesa, I believe.
okay.
Don't quote me. A lot of people I know go to Chandler, and then yeah.
Yeah,
Downtown Phoenix seemed really small.
It
I
seems
don't know if
small,
we were,
and there wasn't a lot happening when it came to like places to go other than the
but I don't
sports.
know if that's because that's where the stadiums are.
Yeah,
But John said that's kind of how Phoenix is. I don't know. I
yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's nice. It was.
Because when the Super Bowl's there, it's in Glendale, which is like an hour away.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It, yeah,
Yeah. So Saturday rolls around, and you're already kind of down, just like from the start, because it's the last day.
yeah. That's what.
Yeah.
So my dad used to get like that. The last day, he'd be like, "Oh, we gotta go home," and he would all get, "I'm so depressed," and so yeah. But I mean, you're still happy, but
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh, the last day."
Well, we went to breakfast, and we went to the Desert Botanical Gardens, which is very cool. Like, first of all, I love that you wanted to go because that was the kind of place that I feel like some guys would be like, eh.
Yeah, but it's like you're in Arizona, so you know it's gonna be
Well, yeah,
stuff you've never seen.
like we don't
I mean, what else are we
see
gonna do?
cactuses
Like,
ever. So it's just like,
because we went back, and then we after that we went back to the pool and hung out at the pool for like 4 hours.
we were at the pool for longer than 4 hours. We were there pretty
Oh,
much
were
the
we?
entire day because we got back from that pretty early, and then we went back to the pool and just hung out at the pool forever. And
Dr-
there
Drinking.
was actually music being played that was like louder than normal. There was a bartender that was there the whole time. It was
And March Madness was going on,
yeah,
so I had my phone.
it was a lot
All the guys had
busier.
all the guys in the pool had their
Yeah,
phones
you were making
watching the
friends with these
game.
college kids.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we just hung out at the pool. We have
everyone was shocked, right? Because it was way out of his league. The couple we're talking to.
yeah. There's the people who were the other older people in the pool that left. They were like, "What's the deal with that? They gotta be siblings," and they weren't. They were a couple. The girl was stunning, and the guy was just kind of a
No, yeah. So that's what people thought. I was like,
yeah.
wow.
He was real chatty though. But the guy in the cabana next to us had just turned 30. I think it was his 30th birthday that day. So there was like a bunch of young people. But it was fun because it was actually a lot more crowded. There was a lot more people there. Um, and we just chilled the whole day and kept drinking and like um I went did you get a bunch of Mai Tais or you just wanted a Mai Tai? Because you heard people talking about it.
No, I said surprise me. So I
Oh, that's right.
overheard the other couple, like when I was up at the bar a couple times, because I remember I talked to the one help. I don't think she was 21 because she wasn't able to get the drinks, but she could help out. She was. I remember we talked the day before because she was from Minnesota. Because I was like, oh, I love this place, and she's like, oh, and so I would talk to them and stuff, and they were making like crazy drinks. So that's when I started putting like grenadine in my drinks. And then I saw her like she made a mai tai for someone. And she's like, oh my god, that's awesome. So I think she was making them. So she like people were coming up like, oh, can you make me that? Can you make me that? So people were coming back
Yeah.
with mai tai. So I think that's where I just said
There's
surprise
a
me.
whole group of
And
people at the bar when I go up there. And I'm just in my phone and like I'm not trying to make friends or anything. And there's just a whole group of people chatting. They're all together. And I order the Mai Tai. And this girl's like, "Girl, then yeah." She's like, "Yeah, Mai Tais." And so like apparently it was a popular drink to order. She was very excited that I ordered it too. But
so we hung out at the pool.
yeah,
It was fun. I mean, it's
that
our
was
last day.
one of my
I want
favorite
to
things.
spend like that's what I want to do. At the last, I'm in Arizona. We're in Arizona. I want to hang out
Yes.
at the pool. I want to drink and I watch college. But I would normally not watch college basketball if it wasn't March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
But you have that, and then Michigan ended up winning, which was awesome. Right, and I was winning money, so it was like, hey, it was a win-win.
It was
And
just
then we're
great
like,
though because like that's where it's like we're on the same page because like
right,
I didn't want to do anything else but hang out at the pool.
and then
And like we could have
Cuff was
gone on
gonna,
adventures. We could have gone and checked out more shit and we're like, "No, we want to be here sitting in this pool
yeah,
drinking. Like that sounds like heaven." And
because
that's
Cuff was making dinner that night
yeah.
at John's for us,
Mhm.
or like together. So and then we wanted to bring something, so I noticed the brewery. So when you were getting ready, I went down and got like 2 growlers of beer, and that's remember I told you I met like someone was trying to invite me to like a warehouse party, and I
I
didn't know what
don't
the
remember
warehouse was
that.
called. Oh, she had a crazy name like Chastity or some crazy name. You could tell, like she started talking to me, and she like you could tell she was kind of like I'm not trying to be mean, but just wasn't all out there. And she's talking about, hey, I think she does this. She like goes to these places
Promoter.
and gets
Yeah.
promotes stuff, and but she said something about like some warehouse or some rave or whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll check it out. So when we went to John's. I was like, yeah, someone's trying to hit me. Like he's like Edwards Warehouse. I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah,
He
that's a
knew
big
what it
place.
was.
I was like, so
John's
it was kind
fun.
of funny. So,
John knows how to have a good time, so I'm sure he's been to
yeah, so
those things.
we had dinner with them, and he had a couple people over.
Mm-hmm.
We're just talking, we're eating and stuff, and we're drinking, so we're having a good time. And then that's when they ordered us the Waymo to get us home, and that was the last night. So we said bye to everyone, and then the fun began.
Okay, well, first of all, we get in the Waymo, which is weird, just because there's no
It's a
driver.
driverless car. I showed everyone at work, and people were like, my IT guy's like, yeah, my son's out in Arizona, and he always talks about that. I'm like,
I mean,
yeah,
they're cool, but like it's binging at us because it's telling Max to buckle his seatbelt. His seatbelt, I don't know if it was because you were drunk, but his seatbelt would not come, like, it was like locked. And so,
no, it was stuck.
yeah,
Yeah,
he couldn't get it undone. So we're in this car with no driver, no seatbelt. I had a seatbelt, but Max didn't. And so we're just like driving through Tempe in this car, and it's crazy because it's just like, I don't know. It would just like it kind of picked up. Like anytime I made a turn, it's just kind of like shot ahead, like faster than like I think either. And I'm a lead foot. It would kind of like slam on the gas when it made turns. I'm like,
and
whoa,
you have a little console back there, and you can pick your own music.
yeah,
I heard you could also upload your phone and stuff. I didn't want to do any of that because
no, because Waymo
like
would be in your
upload your
phone then.
music. Right. So
But it was
now,
cool. It was very
so
cool.
going forward, like now about the vacation. So I was telling people about it at work, and so I was like Googling it, and there's some lawsuits with Waymo. First of all, they say we are not associated with Tesla, which is kind of funny, but they did that before the whole Trump stuff because but you recognize the car because it has like two
Yeah,
circles
we thought it was like
on
a
the top.
Google car
Yeah.
or something.
So I was researching. I was like, oh, there's lawsuits, and it's funny. There's some lawsuits. A couple Waymos have run down pedestrians, like ran them over,
Yeah.
like because and
Well,
then
it
there's a
has
couple
cameras
times where
everywhere, so you think it would
yeah,
sense it, but I'm sure they just don't. They
couple times it got it someone hit someone in a Waymo and the Waymo hit someone. I mean, it like of all the times, like shit's gonna happen.
yeah.
Like,
It did
but
let us out in a
when I hear
turn
the
lane.
pedestrians, I'm like, oh, that's funny. But they probably they're gonna have to fix they probably fix some stuff. I didn't have a problem. I mean, we were having a good time. We were buzzing. So I mean that's but I would have loved it either way. I mean, I thought it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we made like a video and stuff. And I remember I'm like, the robots are taking
You're like,
over.
anarchy.
Yeah. So it was fun. I mean, it won't it'll take you from point A to point B. It's not going to go into like a neighbor. Well, I
Some
don't know, a
neighborhoods
neighborhood
it
like
will.
an apartment complex with all that stuff. And it dropped us off on the curb of the hotel, not going in where the
Oh no,
valets
it
go.
dropped us off in a turn lane. So we like rushed out of the car because there's people trying to turn behind this car. Like, what the fuck? You can't just stop in a turn lane and let people
So
out,
it was fun though.
Yeah.
And then so at that point I should have gone to the hotel and gone and called it a night.
But
But of
no.
course we can't.
No.
So we go up to the rooftop bar, and then anarchy begins. No, it's not anarchy.
No, it wasn't that bad.
We
So,
made friends, and we got a lot to drink.
okay, so first of all, we go up there, and the bartender's like, "Hey, you guys were here last night." We're like, "Yes, we like to drink." So we're we're back. We're just chilling at the bar. We couldn't go on the patio because
We're back, baby. We're back. We're back.
the patio was full. So we're like, we'll just sit at the bar. It's fine. Out on the patio, this couple gets engaged, and like the bartenders knew it was going to happen because I think they were like in on it, and so everyone's like, "Woo!" cheering for this couple. This is the only time Max has embarrassed me. Max goes, "Get a prenup." I'm like, no,
You don't know.
these people just got engaged. Don't yell that. We were too far away. I don't think they could hear you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we were next to him. But then people were laughing when I said that, and then we started talking to the couple next to us, which Christina, and she's got a magnet towards the gays. I
They love
can't
me.
say the gays.
What can I say?
How do you say it? Do you call it the gays? I mean, how do you?
I don't know. If it's offensive, we're sorry.
We started talking to them, and
we love them.
Talking about theater and all sorts of stuff, and then of course we pushed the No Dick Pics podcast on them.
Mm-hmm.
We gave the card to
James.
We gave the card to him. I had a card, and he gave it to I think the bartender. And then it was just, yeah.
Yeah, so do you remember this part where they were guessing how long everyone had been together?
I,
Yeah, so we asked the bartender, how long do you think me and Max have been together? And she's like, I don't know, you guys been married for like 10 years? We're like, we are not married. And we've been together for like a little over a year. And she's like, oh my God. Like she couldn't believe it. The couple that we made friends with had been together for like 20 years. So, yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. They were so nice. They kept buying us rounds. And so Max keeps ordering these. What were they called? They were like,
old fashions.
no, there was something about them, like something old fashioned, like it was an Arizona old fashioned or something.
Oh, it
I
had a
don't know.
lot of bitters.
Yeah. So Max is getting like lit skis. Like he's having a great time. Um, which is funny because like I wasn't sure because like me and James were like clicking. Like we were like in a conversation, like having this like great conversation, and Max is just chilling. So I was like, I want to pay attention to my boyfriend too, but like I'm having this great conversation with James, and you were just like cool, like just enjoying yourself. You're chiming in on the conversation, like you were totally fine, which is again something that's really nice because like we don't like
But why should it
go out and
care? I
meet
don't
people.
like, yeah.
Yeah, so we don't like typically we're not in that setting together often. So like you could have been like, "Hey, I'm here too," when you weren't. You were just like, "Sweet, you're having a conversation,
You went old
whatever."
fashioned. Let me suck that shit down.
You're having a great time. I'm not gonna get into what happened after that.
That's that's R-rated.
It's worse than R rated and C-17. Is there an X rating? I don't know.
You just edit this because you don't want to say stuff like that because then everyone's going to ask, well, what happened?
I'll just say it's private.
Yeah, it was hot
No,
sex in the hotel room. Like, what else is it going to be?
we'll keep it vague.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Max doesn't remember.
And then I get up and I'm sad because we have to leave.
Yeah. But it was a really good trip. Like it was just every moment. The only downside was our bad service at sushi, which was not the end of the world, honestly.
And leaving.
And leaving, but like every moment of the trip was good. And everything was just like it just felt really good to be together and it felt really good to like we just didn't have any conflict at any point on the trip, I don't think.
And it was 80 degrees every
Mhm.
day. And then we come home to this rain shit. So here's one of the advice that people would always tell me and I never took for it. Like after a vacation and stuff, you need a day to reset
You
just to kind
really
of, and
needed
I
it.
didn't. Because what happened was I was, I drank so much, I was hungover and I got up, but probably should have stayed in bed. You're getting ready. You're at the airport all day. You're on the plane. By the time we get home, it's like 7, 8 o'clock. You have to take your son back to all this.
Mhm.
I'm unpacking. There's just like so much going on, and it's like I needed a day to reset, and I didn't. And I went straight to work. Had to get up early, get the kid, and I actually didn't have the kids that week, but I still had to get. And I didn't let I didn't like I was down.
It was
Like I was
actually
down for
like
a
good
couple days.
timing that it happened to be spring break for the kids and that your ex kept them because you needed those days. I think if we had had the
Right.
kids those days, you would have been out for longer.
I needed a reset
Yeah.
and I couldn't catch up on my sleep because you don't realize like you're on vacation, you don't get a lot of good sleep, you're doing a lot of
Mhm.
stuff.
That's also
So you
when we
just need
didn't
a good
record because we were going to record about the trip that Tuesday
yeah.
and we didn't because you had to go to the dentist and you were just like so
It was that Thursday, yeah.
not only are we back from this trip and you're bummed because we're like back in the real world, it's cloudy and rainy and gross and cold. Then like you have to go to the dentist and your tooth
Right.
it's not a filling, your tooth is cracked and so you
So
have to
at the sushi
yeah.
place I felt something sharp and I just thought it was a filling and it looked like it was a filling. So I was like, all right, that's fine. It didn't bother me. We got back home. It didn't bother me till like the Wednesday. So my ex said, "Hey, can you take?" I was like, "I'll take the kids out for dinner." And so you chose, "Hey, let's go to Cooper Hawk because we'll love it."
Mhm.
So we went there, and I remember I had steak, and then that night, like my mouth was killing me. So I was just like, I already told myself, okay, I'm gonna call off Thursday, this Saturday, fuck it. So I called off. I slept till like 12, 1 o'clock, and then I got up, and my mouth was killing me. So I called the dentist. So I go into the dentist office, and they're like, "Yeah, that's your tooth. Like your tooth broke off." Like I'm like, well, he's like, I have other patients you want to wait or do you want to come back? I'm like, I want to get this done. I was like, all right. So I only waited like 40 minutes. And then he went in and he's like, yeah. So he like, did filling around it and he got like the pliers. So they were taking part of the tooth out. And he said, yeah, it was pretty bad, but he did something, put some medic, some filling. I don't know. He's like, if it doesn't get better, we're probably going to have to do a root canal. Well, I was like, once the Novocaine wore off, it was sore that night. The next, like, it was like a brand new. I was like,
Mhm.
I've been good. But he said I have a high tolerance of pain with my teeth because some of the teeth is like when I went there before. But I was like, hey, it's fixed, it's fine. So
There's a lot
yeah,
going on for you when we got back. Your tooth was messed up. You were
yeah,
like
I
not
needed a
feeling it.
reset day, so
Yeah.
I had that on Thursday, and I was fine. I bounced
Well,
back,
then I'm
and I was
like,
like,
you
boom,
can probably podcast because you've been off all day, and you're like, no.
yeah.
So we
Well, no,
didn't.
there was a lot of Novocaine,
Yeah.
so I came back. I think I got in the car at like 3 o'clock. And he's like, "Yeah, it should only be for another hour." I don't think the Novocaine wore out till like after 6 o'clock. I didn't want to like sit around because when you sit around and you think about it, I like in the past I'd always like bite my lip or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go for a walk." And so I know that if I want to go for a walk and I'm thirsty, drink from your left side, not your right side. So I went for a nice like hour walk just to kind of clear my head and stuff. It was shitty weather out, but it was nice. And I was like, boom, I was ready. I was good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So it was I loved it. And then telling everyone all the stuff that happened. I had fun. I just
Yeah.
there wasn't any moment I was like, oh, it was just like it was just fun all the way through.
You kept telling me I'm fun on vacation. You
Well,
actually,
yeah,
that the night when you were very drunk, you just could not stop telling me how much you loved me. I was like, I love it. Keep it coming.
yeah, because we know you love that, right? No, it was I mean, there wasn't an like we don't fight anyway.
Yeah.
Like we seem to just like work well with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you even mentioned you're like, this is the first vacation I went on, but there's no plans. I'm like, no, I just wing it.
I was honestly a
I guess
little
that's how I
stressed
am.
about it.
I guess I didn't have the time because leading up like was inventory that whole week. So leading up to it, I had inventory the whole week and the whole weekend. So I had like no. So I really needed a vacation because I didn't have a break
You
for
hadn't had
almost
a
like
day
a week and
off
a
in
half.
like, yeah, almost 2 weeks at that point.
So
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, it was
It was so I was a little. I remember telling my coworkers about it, being like, "We have no plan." They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. I know we're going to a Cubs game. That's all I know." They're like, "You don't know what you're doing?"
you just gotta wing it. You go. I mean, that's how,
Yeah.
especially like in a Tempe and stuff. It's like all right, you
So
walk around, see what's there, you
I don't
Google
like.
stuff. Hey,
I'm not going to talk about him often because just for sake of his privacy and stuff. But like my ex was a planner, and we would have a set plan for every day. So I always knew what to expect. I knew what to pack. I knew everything. And it was kind of intense because like it's hard to relax when you have a schedule. But it's also kind of, you know what you're doing. So you know what to prepare for. We just went and we were busy all the time. We had stuff to do. I have to sneeze. Okay, it's going away. But um
cow was eating
I
cheese and
no,
grass.
not cheese, just grass. You look at a light and think of a cow eating grass, and it worked. I just did it. But we
I'm gonna need another old fashioned right now.
we we had stuff to do. We weren't bored. We weren't I was afraid that we were going to be sitting around talking about like what should we do? I don't know. What should we do? I don't know, because that's how we are with dinner. So I thought that's how it was going to be for making plans, and it wasn't. It was just like, yeah, let's do this. Sure, let's do this. Like it was just like we had stuff to do every day. We had a really fun vacation. We got a lot done. We had a lot of time to
And
relax
there's more
too.
stuff we wanted to do too.
Yeah.
We
But
wanted to check out the lake or the river. We
yeah,
wanted to check Scottsdale out more. So yeah,
we had
that was
plenty of
fine.
time to relax and sit by the
I
pool
feel like a
and
vacation, like going to Arizona. I mean, to me, you're gonna find stuff to do.
mhm.
Like if you're going to like, I don't know, if you're going to like tropical islands or you're doing other stuff, yeah, you need to have a plan to see what you can do because you know. But or if you're like going to Disney World, but I mean, like you're just going to Arizona. Like we had a few things, and I wasn't sure how involved, how much we were going to see the Cuffs, how much they were going to see us. So I was just kind of thinking, well, if we,
They're
so
awesome friends to travel with because they're so laid back. Because they're like, okay, like we're gonna do this. Okay, sure. Like you want to meet up? Okay, yeah, we'll meet up. Like whatever.
And meet the guy at the ballpark that's like, "There's no good food in Arizona." Like,
Oh, the
yeah,
guy,
okay, buddy.
he's the
Yeah,
pitcher in our group chat. What was his
because he
name?
grabbed the phone and took a picture of himself because he thought it was. I was like, all right, I guess
I
so.
can't remember his name.
Yeah, but he was like, "I'm from Chicago. Where are you from?" No, you're DeKalb.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
not Chicago.
So
Yeah,
this is something, and I'm sure people from Chicago who've been to Arizona are aware of this because I knew this going into it. Everyone we met was from this area. Every single person we met.
but even like young people working
Mm-hmm.
there, the restaurants
Any
and stuff.
server we had, any bartender, anything, they're all from here. And I'm like, that happened to me last time too. Every single person I met was from the Chicago area. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, we were looking, we're like, hey, we should move here. Maybe one day. We'll see.
It's just the point. It's like the snakes, and then they're saying there's a big cockroaches and like the scorpions.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's shit here too, though. There's stuff that's not great about, like, we have blizzards and negative 30-degree
But the
days.
blizzards aren't poisonous.
No, but they suck.
But overall,
Yeah.
the vacation was good. I had a blast. And I'm like, we should do another one.
Yeah. Well, you're saying
So,
next time we're doing a full week. Because we did, what was it, 5 days? 4 days?
yeah, Wednesday.
Through
Wednesday.
Sunday.
I mean, Sunday, I don't count Sunday.
No, because we really
It's a
didn't do
travel
much. We
day.
went to breakfast and that
But
was
Wednesday,
it.
we got in so early, so we had most of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. So, I don't actually have a plan. I need to reach out to some people, but I have some exciting things in the works for upcoming weeks.
Don't jinx it.
I'm not going to say it, but I have some exciting things. I have reached out to several people that are kind of outside of our norm. So hopefully some of this stuff actually comes through and happens, but we'll see. We're working on it. We're trying to bring you something new, not the same thing every week. So as you can see, and I got a lot of good feedback from last week from our Love Connections show. So, I mean, people seem to like it. So, we would love to do it again. We just need people to want to do it. So, if you want to be connected with someone, if you want to be on the episode of Love Connections, let us know. Reach out in our DMs, email us at nodickpicspod@gmail.com. Send me some info about you. Like, if you have a dating profile, send me like a screenshot of your dating profile.
Don't forget WrestleMania weekend coming up next week.
Yeah, you're excited. It's gonna be a good week.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
And it's Easter too, so.
Mm-hmm. And 420. Do people still celebrate that? Well, I know
I
they
think
do.
people, they celebrate it, but I think a lot of people are aware of it. They might not do it, but they'll say, hey, 420.
It's kind of silly because it's legal. Well, here.
Yeah, but it's still like, you know, like when it's 420 time, some people are like, hey, 420. So everyone.
I've never done that. So, yeah, I don't know. We've got some good things coming up. You got anything else? You got anything you want to talk about? No.
I'm good.
Yeah. So, that was our trip.
Yeah, it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks when you get back, but
It does.
it is what it is.
But it was nice to realize, confirm that we're even better on, we're good in real life. Don't fight. And I want to point out that it's not that we don't have conflict, because people are like, bullshit, you don't fight. No, we have conflict. We have things that we disagree on. We have things that come up that we could fight about if we weren't good at communicating with each other. Both of our personalities together just works out that we don't get into an argument about it. We just talk about it. And it doesn't develop into an angry thing. It's just let's have a conversation and we talk about it, and it's just healthy. And I don't know if it's just because we've both been through a lot of therapy, but we just have a lot of peace in our relationship. There's not a lot of, there's just not a lot of conflict. There's not a lot of.
All we are saying is give peace a chance.
There's not anger. There's nothing like that. It's just very we're just chill. That's just who we are. But on vacation,
it's not worth to be angry at someone anymore. Right. I don't know.
So in real life, we're pretty good. We're easygoing. On vacation, we're even better.
And if I need to get away from her, I'll just hide.
But you don't want to get away from me, right?
I'll just hide.
Where would you hide?
I'll find you.
Are you sick of me?
No, I'm not sick of you.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm a little sick of you.
I'm excited to see you. I get excited when you get back.
You do?
Yeah, I'm like, all
Oh,
right, cook for me.
I mean, I want to eat too. Speaking of food,
Yeah.
let's be done with this so we can get something to eat before we have to get your daughter. Be sure to rate and review and subscribe. And we'll be back next week. Right?
Peace. Yes.
All right. Bye.
Same bad time, same bad channel.